Well, God bless the great state of Texas. What a fantastic job Kristi did. You know, I got to say, it's great seeing Kristi, it's great seeing Trey come to Houston, come to Texas, because this room, the men and women gathered here, I believe are the finest patriots on the face of the planet. These are dark days. They're dark days for our country. Washington, D.C. has gone bat crap crazy. But I'll tell you, in the face of the foolishness, in the face of the radical extreme from Washington, I've never been more optimistic. And I am optimistic because of the men and women here. I'm optimistic because of who our nation is. I want to talk to you all tonight about choices. Look, politics is not about dull, boring, standing for nothing. As Reagan famously put it, we need to paint in bold colors and not pale pastels. And I am optimistic because the American people are being given choices about as stark as you could possibly imagine. They're being given choices economically between prosperity and poverty. If I may offer up a prayer, dear God, please nobody tell the Democrats what comes after $1 trillion. I mean, it's apparently they have a magic money tree hidden somewhere that none of us know where it is. We had the COVID relief bill, $1.9 trillion. 9% of it dealt with COVID relief. 91% of it was paying off left-wing special interests. Now let me tell you just how extreme they are. So we stayed and fought on the Senate floor. We fought all night. We fought 24 hours straight, fighting against that boondoggle. I introduced an amendment. It said the $1,400 stimulus checks you're sending to everyone across America, how about we don't send those checks to millions of illegal aliens? We voted on it in the Senate floor. Every single Democrat voted no. It failed by a single vote. If one Democrat had said, all right, maybe we shouldn't be sending $1,400 checks to illegal aliens, it would have passed. So I introduced another amendment. I said, all right, you want to send it to all the illegal aliens. I got this. How about we don't send $1,400 checks to criminals? To actual criminals currently incarcerated in prison. Every single Democrat voted no. It failed by a single vote. Kevin, you'll appreciate this. I went a couple of days later to the Senate floor. I offered up a series of bills. I said, all right, you want to send it to the criminals. Let's see if we can narrow it down a little bit. How about murderers? Here's my bill. Let's not send checks to murderers currently in prison. Democrats objected. I said, all right, you like murderers. I get it, Charles Manson, he's California, he was hip, I get it, okay. How about this? How about rapists? Can we agree that rapists are the scum of the earth and we shouldn't send them checks? Democrats objected. I said, all right, final try. Child molesters. Like the lowest circle of hell. Child molesters, I believe the appropriate penological approach to child molesters is garden shears. So how about people currently incarcerated for child molestation? Let's not send them a $1,400 taxpayer check, and let's send it to the victims of crime instead. Democrats stood up and objected. Now look, on some level, that ought to scare the living daylights out of us. But on another level, that ought to encourage you. Because what it means is they're going way out there. If you're working to try to appeal to the murderer caucus, you sort of lost your moorings. The contrast, by the way, before COVID hit, when we had cut taxes, cut regulations, we had the economy booming, we had the lowest unemployment in 50 years. We had the lowest African American unemployment ever recorded. The lowest Hispanic unemployment ever recorded. The lowest Asian American unemployment ever recorded. And the lowest unemployment for women and for young people in 70 years. How's that for a choice? What are the Democrats doing now? They want to raise your taxes. Every person in here, they want to raise your taxes. A lot. We've got a $2.6 trillion infrastructure bill that's got nothing to do with infrastructure. Out of the entire bill, 5% is roads and bridges. Like, everyone likes infrastructure. Everyone says, hey, we need roads and bridges. 5% of the bill is roads and bridges. Reminds me of, y'all know my favorite movie is The Princess Bride. Reminds me of Inigo Montoya. You keep on using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. That ain't infrastructure. But they are shoveling cash out the door. They're raising taxes. They're raising regulations. Joe Biden on day one, Keystone Pipeline gone. 11,000 jobs gone. 8,000 union members' jobs gone. We're in a position to give a choice to the American people. How about security? We got a choice between security and chaos. When it comes to security, every one of us is horrified by what's happening at our southern border. 2 weeks ago, I brought 19 senators down to the southern border, down to the Rio Grande Valley. I got to tell you, in the past decade, I've been down in the valley. I've been down on the border many, many times. It is by far the worst I've ever seen. We went out on midnight patrol with the Border Patrol. Saw caravans of people hiking north from the Rio Grande. Little kids walking alone on the trails. Moms nursing with infants. We went to the Donna Tent Facility. Donna Tent Facility is this gigantic tent city built with a capacity of 1,000 people. Under COVID restrictions, its capacity is 250 people. When we were there, they had over 4,200 people packed into that facility. At 1,700% capacity. I saw the Biden cages. For 4 years, we listened to Democrats drone on and on about the Trump cages. Kids in cages. What they never admitted is Barack Obama built the cages. And Joe Biden is building more cages, bigger cages, and they're more full today. In those cages, we saw young people. In the midst of a pandemic, mind you, they weren't 6 feet apart. They weren't 3 feet apart. They weren't 3 inches apart. They're lying side by side by side. No beds, no cots, no mats. On the floor, little kids wrapped up in reflective emergency blankets. bringing 19 senators down there, I asked the Biden administration for the press to come with us. ABC News wanted to embed with us. Fox News wanted to embed with us. Joe Biden said, "Nuh-uh. We can't have any reporters." By the way, Trump let reporters in. Obama let reporters in. Bush let reporters in. Clinton let reporters in. Joe Biden said, "See no evil. Nothing to see. No reporters at all." And, the reporters being docile little leftists, they went, okay. So what did we do? We had 19 senators there, and we said, you know what? In today's technological world, I'm a reporter. And I pulled out my phone, and the other senators pulled out our phones, and we began taking pictures. We began filming what was going on there. And the Biden administration sent a political minder to come try to stop us, a young lady who was the senior advisor to the commissioner, who jumped in front of the camera. "You can't film this." Now, see, I am far too genteel to say something like that. I just hit record. And her talking point that she had been given was, respect these people. I said, "Ma'am, I do respect these people. Don't lock them in cages in the middle of a pandemic on top of each other." You know, the COVID positivity rate is 10%. In that facility, they're releasing illegal aliens who are testing positive for COVID at a rate 7 times higher than the U.S. population. So we put those pictures out, we put the videos out, and all the reporters had to credit us. And you know what happened? Joe Biden had to let in the press. Look, this is a contrast. This open border is chaotic. In February, 100,000 people crossed illegally. In March, 171,000. And it's the result of political decisions made by Joe Biden. There's a reason Biden hadn't been to the border. And he says, "Not my problem. I don't know anything about it. Who's in charge, Kamala?" "Not me, Kamala." Look, it was so bad. I don't know if any of y'all watch Saturday Night Live. All right, I grew up watching Saturday Night Live. They're terrible leftist garbage, and I still watch it. But they had Kamala doing a unity Seder for Passover. And Kamala was there, and Biden shows up, and Biden says in Saturday Night Live, says, "Kamala, you're in charge of the border." She goes, "Thanks a lot. What do you do?" And on Saturday Night Live, Biden says, "I give away the stimmies. You get a stimmy, you get a stimmy, stimulus checks for everybody." But of course, what did Kamala do? She said, "I'm out of here." She either quit or was fired. Neither one of them have been to the border since they got elected. Now, I'm going to tell you, as bad as it is, and it's serious, and Texas pays the price for that, but it also poses one heck of a choice for the American people. These radicals want to abolish the police. And sane, rational people, by which I mean Texans, and the vast majority of Americans, we stand with, we support, and we thank the men and women of law enforcement. And the final choice we got is a choice between liberty and tyranny. There is no aspect of your life that the left doesn't want to control. They want to control what you think. They want to control what you say. They want to control what you breathe. They want to take your guns. You know, years ago, Charlton Heston said, "From my cold, dead hands." I'm telling you right now, Joe, you can't have my guns, and you ain't taking it from my dead hands because you're not killing me either. We have this new species, the woke police. God bless. Like, I love going to college campuses because Really, what young people would want a bunch of shrill, angry ninnies controlling their life? How many radical leftists does it take to change a light bulb? That's not funny! Like these guys. So the All-Star game is in Denver. Because nothing says woke social justice warrior like taking a game out of a city that is 51% African American and moving it to a city that is 9% African American. Nice job, guys. You'll have a bunch of like really cold snow ski instructors at the game, and never mind all the small businesses in Atlanta that just got destroyed because you know what? Georgia, God help them, got 2 Democratic senators. And 2 Democratic senators, there's something biblical about it because they bring plagues. They bring plagues of locusts and boils and frogs and blood, and they drive the All-Star game out of your city. But as messed up as it is, I want you to end this night with hope and encouragement. There is a natural pendulum to politics. We've seen it all our lives. Right now, the more crazy these lunatics get, and unfortunately they're going to get more crazy, the more likely it is that people go, hold on there a second. What exactly is wrong with you? Your elevator doesn't go all the way to the top. And the more crazy left they go, the more likely it is that the country moves back to sanity. And I am convinced that 2022 is going to be a phenomenal election. And 2024 is going to be even better. As everyone here knows, it took Jimmy Carter to give us Ronald Reagan. Now look at how bad Joe Biden has been. By the way, somewhere in Georgia, Jimmy Carter is going, yes, not worst president ever. But the worse Joe Biden gets, the more the American people are going to say, we want prosperity, we want security, we want freedom, we want to get back to the Constitution, we want to get back to the Bill of Rights, and I believe the men and women here. Houston is my hometown. We are the most entrepreneurial city on the face of the planet. We are the most diverse big city in America. We don't have zoning because zoning's for communists. We're a city built by wildcatters who did things like take swimming pools and fill them with silver dollars. That's the city of Houston. That's who we are. That's who the men and women here are. And I'll tell you today, each of you standing together are fighting for our country, and we will pull America back for the brink. We will get back to freedom. We will defeat socialism, and we will restore the Constitution of the United States in this shining city on a hill. Thank you, and God bless you.